You've reached the busy signal. I'm Jim, your host, and this podcast is all about revisiting the pop culture we grew up with. From the TV shows and movies we love, to music, commercials, and the moments that never really left us. The Busy Signal, episode 67. Thanks for listening. There was a time, not that long ago, when late night television turned into a carnival. You'd be half asleep, the glow of the TV lighting the room, and suddenly, bam, someone's yelling at you about a cleaner so powerful, it would probably erase your past mistakes. Welcome to the golden age of 2000s infomercials, where enthusiasm was mandatory, volume was maxed out, and subtlety was absolutely nowhere to be found. This was the era of larger-than-life pitchmen. Unmistakable voices blasting through the air promising that yes, this product would change everything. And oh, the products. They weren't just any products, they were solutions. How were you even doing life without this on your counter, or that wrapped around you, or a cabinet full of who's-its and what's-its galore that you didn't even know you needed or existed until 2:17 a.m. in the morning? But here's the thing. We watched. We all watched, whether it was out of curiosity, insomnia, or the quiet hope that maybe this thingamabob would actually work. These infomercials became part of the background noise of our lives. A weird, loud, oddly comforting time capsule of the 2000s. So today, we're diving headfirst into the world of rapid-fire pitches, too good to be true demonstrations, and deals that always seem to double if you called in the next 10 minutes. So act now. Operators are standing by, right here on the Busy Signal. So this is our third in the infomercial series here on the Busy Signal, and when I was putting together ideas to have infomercials episodes, it was always 2000s. I was always wanting to do the 2000s. Like, we've got 80s and 90s infomercials episodes. Feel free to hit up the archives to hear those, by the way. They're great. Really fun throwbacks with quirky products and over-the-top pitches, and both episodes highlight really cool stuff. You could tell infomercials are perfecting themselves, and a lot of those products were brought to us by Ronco. Ronco being the company that was started by the inventor and master pitchman, Ron Popeil. Ron was king of the long-form infomercial. As a matter of fact, that's exactly where we left off in the 90s. So I just want to bridge the gap real quick because the infomercials in the 90s and 2000s, it explodes between 99 and 2000. It's wild. We left off pretty much with Ron Popeil having perfected the long-form infomercial with his Showtime rotisserie oven.
Turn it on, I'll set it, and... forget it! Right.
But by the 2000s, Ron really wasn't showcasing any new products. He updated and upgraded some past gadgets, but that was about it. In 2005, he sold Ronco and effectively retired. So this episode on infomercials past will be the first that I'm doing without a Ronco product, and that feels weird at first, really, it does. But without Ron Popeil and all the work that he did for 46 years, the 2000s infomercials, as seen on TV, pitchman explosion, just doesn't happen. Ron Popeil walked so others could run. And the 2000s, like I said, they were a wild time for infomercials, and the people selling the products, yikes, it's amazing. We lost Ron in 2021, but if you watch any infomercial or as seen on TV ad, Ron's style is all over it. I mean, he set the bar. I mentioned that Ron was king of the long-form infomercial, and I stand by that, but it doesn't mean that the 2000s wouldn't be able to deliver a decent 30-minute infomercial. Actually, my favorite infomercial of all time is from 2003, and it's the most unhinged piece of television I've ever seen. It is a proper train wreck from start to finish, and it's where we're starting off this 2000s infomercial journey, so let's go. If you thought infomercials peaked with yelling and catchphrases, the magic bullet came along in 2003 and said, what if we made an infomercial, but made it deeply uncomfortable at the same time? This wasn't just a product demo, it was a full-on fever dream. The setup? A group of middle-aged party guests who clearly never left the house from the night before. It's the morning after, and people are clearly hungover, and someone's in a muumuu while smoking indoors like it's 1987. And instead of going home, they're just hanging out in this couple's kitchen. And that couple, who clearly were the hosts from the night before, are way too awake, way too cheerful, and decide now's the perfect time to host a blender seminar.
Look who's come in.
Good morning, Berman.
God, not so loud.
Here, what about a bit of the hair of the dog that bit you?
Oh, he's just kidding, Berman. Go ahead, try it. It's a fruit smoothie.
Morning.
That looks good. Can I have one of those?
Yeah, me too. What kind do you have?
What kind would you like? He's got strawberry and banana.
Got any berries?
Sure, I've got berries. I've got some raspberries. I've got some blueberries. I've got some strawberries. Here you go. Watch this. Little bit of juice. Not finished yet. Pop in some ice. Pop on the blade. Give it a quick spin. And just watch. It takes about 3, 4, 5 seconds. And look at that. A beautiful mixed berry smoothie.
Enter the star of our show, the Magic Bullet. It was this tiny coffee mug-sized blender that somehow replaces your full-size blender, your food processor, and possibly your will to question reality. Before you know it, they're making smoothies, omelets, dips, and more booze-based beverages than I've seen in a long time. All of this in a little plastic cup. This thing starts out weird from the beginning. All the guests kind of stumble out from all different parts of the house, clearly had way too much fun the night before, and they're just a who's who of weirdos. And they don't even react to any of these demonstrations like humans. They're mesmerized by all of it. Moo Moo Lady keeps forgetting to ash her Marlboro Light 100 menthol Slims. You have to see this. Weird. What makes this infomercial unforgettable isn't just the product. It is the vibe. The pacing seems off. The energy's chaotic, and middle-aged people don't stay over other people's houses. They want to crash in their own beds, always. Period. At times, this doesn't really feel like an infomercial. It feels like I'm interrupting a cult meeting for smoothies. And yet, no, it really did work. The Magic Bullet was a massive hit. My family even had one. I mean, they probably might still even have it. Because somehow in between the cigarette smoke, the forced smiles, and the straight 30 minutes of look what else it can do, we started to believe maybe we do need this little weird blender.
Just think, in a matter of minutes, we made breakfast. 2 different kinds of muffins. A 6-second lunch. Snacks. 2 completely different pasta dishes. And 2 completely different desserts. All in like what, the last 10 minutes or so?
And all without dirtying a single pot or pan.
That's really going to save me a ton of time and trouble in the kitchen.
It really will. But believe it or not, that's not why Mick and I bought the Magic Bullet. We bought it because it's
the ultimate party machine. Are you ready?
I really do suggest that you look this up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never seen the infomercial for Magic Bullet, you really are missing out. You need to go to YouTube and you need to search Magic Bullet. It's like 30 minutes, and I'm telling you, it's like a train wreck. You cannot pull your eyes away from it. Once it starts, you're in for the long haul, and you're welcome. Aside from the oddball, late-night, prepaid fever dream that was the Magic Bullet, the early 2000s were not so quietly entertaining a full-blown golden age of as seen on TV. And with the new millennium came a new king of pitch. A guy who didn't just sell products, he steamrolled your television with them. You probably guessed already, Billy Mays. Before he was shouting at you in your living room at 2:30 in the morning, Mays was grinding it out on the Atlantic City boardwalk, perfecting a new, iconic delivery, loud, fast, and impossible to ignore. By the late 90s, he had made his way onto the Home Shopping Network. But it was in 2000 that he really broke through to the masses with one product that would define the next decade: OxyClean. OxyClean wasn't just another cleaner. It was sold as a miracle powder, powered by sodium percarbonate, meaning it released oxygen when mixed with water, creating that signature fizz that promised to obliterate stains at the source, on a molecular level. Wine, grass, grease, whatever. If you had a ruined stained shirt, OxyClean was about to put it on trial.
Hi, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the stain specialist. Powered by the air you breathe, activated by the water that you and I drink. It's Mother Nature approved, then it's safe on your colored fabrics. Use it on carpets. OxyClean seeks out organic stains, pet stains, food stains that get down into the matting, into the padding. It even takes red wine and grape juice out of white carpeting. It cleans, it brightens, and eliminates odors all at the same time. Don't just get it clean. Get it OxyClean.
But the real show wasn't the science. It wasn't really the product. It was Billy Mays. All you had to hear was,
"Hi, Billy Mays here."
And suddenly you were locked in. The rhythm, the volume, the urgency. Every demo raised the stakes. And every before and after felt like a minor miracle happening in real time. Compared to the smoother, gadget-driven charm of Ron Popeil, Billy Mays was a pure force of nature. He redefined the next 10 years. OxyClean was everywhere, and whether you needed it or not, you had some. That's the power of Billy Mays. But really, when we think about Billy Mays, most people do think immediately of OxyClean, and yeah, fair. But the early 2000s? That man was everywhere. By 2007, Billy Mays wasn't just cleaning your laundry, he was trying to convince you he could rebuild your house with a stick of clay.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Mighty Putty. The easy way to fix, fill, and seal virtually anything fast and make it last. Mighty Putty is not a glue, but a super-powered epoxy that you can mold to any shape and apply directly to most any surface for an everlasting bond. Ordinary epoxies are a mixing mess. With Mighty Putty, you just cut like dough, simply need to activate, apply, and let dry. It has the muscle to support up to 350 pounds.
Amazing. Got a leaking pipe? Putty. Cracked mug? Putty. Hole in your wall? Putty. Emotional damage? Maybe give it a shot. The real showstopper in this is the truck demo. It's legendary. He takes the putty, slaps it between two metal plates, and attaches this apparatus to a chain, and pulls a tractor trailer.
It has the strength to pull this fully loaded 80,000-pound tractor trailer. Now that's the power of Mighty Putty.
80,000 pounds. He's the Evel Knievel of sales. What can I say? And here's the thing. I saw this commercial back in the day, and part of my brain was like, there's no way. But the other part was already shelling out cash for a stick of magical Play-Doh. Yeah, I did. I really actually did buy some. I actually had it until probably about a year ago. I found it in a toolbox, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. It was all dried out and I couldn't use it anymore, but it was like this ancient artifact. I was like, oh my gosh, it just unlocked memories. But yeah, I did. I bought some because there was a piece in the center console of my car that broke, and I thought, you know what? This is it. This is my Mighty Putty moment. I cut off a hunk. I needed it. Oh, and by the way, it's chemicals. They do give you gloves, but in the infomercials, people are straight up barehanding this stuff. Yikes. Anyway, I molded it and jammed it into the spot of my car that needed the repair, and I waited. It hardened, but it didn't really adhere, like not even a little. So no, it didn't work, at least for me. But Billy did make me believe that at least while I was watching the commercial, that with the power of Mighty Putty, I could be a structural engineer, like 100%. But that's why it's memorable. Anybody else out there ever use Mighty Putty? Do you remember the smell? You don't forget the smell of Mighty Putty. It was pretty rough, at least from what I remember. All right, so by the late 2000s, Billy also decided, yeah, we're going 3-for on Billy. Like Billy, Billy, Billy. Because that's exactly what he did to us in the 2000s. And by the late 2000s, Billy also decided that we were no longer capable of basic human function. His solution? The big city slider station. Of all Billy's bombastic infomercials, this one sticks with me because the whole commercial has this weird hypnotic rhythm to it. Like Billy did a collab with Dr. Seuss.
Hi, Billy Mays here for the Big City Slider Station. The fast and easy way to press and cook delicious sliders. Those restaurant mini burgers everyone loves. No more squishing and squashing or flipping and flopping. With the Slider Station, just scoop, press, and cook right on your stove. The unique design cooks both sides at once, so you never have to flip them. And in just 2 minutes, you'll have 5 mouth-watering sliders. Use dinner rolls, potato rolls, any bun. You can double or triple stack them and watch your family attack them. Top with pickles, onions, ketchup or cheese, big city sliders are sure to please. The double-sided non-stick surface is so slick, not even burnt-on cheese will stick.
See what I mean? Press it here, cook it there, perfect little burgers everywhere. I mean, you heard that, right? And meanwhile, on the screen, it's just people aggressively manhandling raw meat like they've never seen a stovetop before. I mean, it's kind of gross. Although, I guess that's the whole premise for the commercial. Like, not, hey, here's a new cooking tool. No, this is presented like society's hit a wall and we've collectively forgotten how to make a hamburger. And maybe some people did. So, luckily, Billy had their back with a not so easy to store bulky metal contraption. And I love it. I love his confidence in selling this thing like it's a revolutionary thing. As if White Castle's been gatekeeping some ancient slider technology for decades. Now, you can make sliders at home. You couldn't before, I promise, but now you can. And that's what makes these infomercials so great. It's not solving a problem, really, it's creating one and then yelling the solution at you. Can't cook burgers at home? Stop staring at that raw meat like it's a Rubik's Cube and buy this. I've always appreciated the entertainment value in Billy Mays' infomercials, and this one does not disappoint. It's fantastic. Meanwhile, off to the side, lurking in the as-seen-on-TV shadows, a very different kind of pitchman was loading up to step into the ring. Vince Ofer. I think that's how it's pronounced, because otherwise it's Offer, and Offer would be an incredibly, ironic name to have for somebody who's a pitchman. So, Vince Ofer. Don't know the name? Does ShamWow help you know what I'm talking about? Before he ever yelled about towels, Vince was grinding out his own path. I guess he was some kind of comedian and he was doing underground comedy movies. I've never seen them, I probably never will. But for years, he spent hustling and working the scrappier sides of direct marketing, and he wasn't polished, but he was persistent. So when he finally does land in the infomercial spotlight in 2008, his style feels unfiltered. No warm smiles, no soft kitchen lighting, just rapid fire delivery, intense eye contact, and used car salesman energy. Really, that's Vince Ofer, aka the ShamWow guy.
Hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. This is for the house, the car, the boat, the RV. ShamWow holds 20 times its weight in liquid. Look at this. It just does the work. Why do you want to work twice as hard? Here's some cola. Wine, coffee, cola, pet stains. Not only is the damage going to be on top, there's your mildew. That is going to smell. See that? Look at this. Put on the spill, turn it over without even putting any pressure. 50% of the cola right there. You follow me, camera guy? I don't know. It sells itself. The ShamWow sells for $19.95, but you get one for the house, one for the car, two for the kitchen and bathroom. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll give you a second set absolutely
Let's
free.
talk about the actual ShamWow product, by the way, because we got to talk about the ShamWow. On paper, this is just a synthetic chamois towel. That's it. But in Vince's hands, it becomes a life-altering household revelation. He's dumping cola and wiping spills with very Sopranos vibes. At this point, I'm afraid not to buy ShamWow. And weirdly, this worked. ShamWow sold millions. It wasn't even a scam. But it also wasn't magic. It was just a decent, reusable towel wrapped in one of the most aggressive sales pitches ever broadcast at 2 a.m. In a world ruled by Billy Mays' booming certainty, Vince Ofer showed up with chaotic energy, and for a moment, I thought, I'd never have to touch another paper towel again. You following me, microphone guy? Coming off the ShamWow craze, yeah, we're going right back to Vince Ofer, because that's really what it was in the 2000s. We had Billy Mays and Vince Ofer. Vince really didn't change his formula for his next infomercial, he just brought it to the kitchen with Slap Chop. It's the same rapid-fire energy, just now focused on meal prep instead of spilled soda.
Hi, it's Vince with Slap Chop. You're going to be in a great mood all day because you're going to be slapping your troubles away with the Slap Chop. Now look, here's a potato. One slap, you got big chunks for stews. Two slaps, home fries in a second. And look at this. When you add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. You love salad, You hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots, salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the pizza. This tuna looks boring. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. The onions with the skin. All right, this is making you cry, making me cry. Life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore. The skin's at the bottom. Hey, look, so you want a little bit of onions? You don't want to drag out the food processor? The skin comes right off. We're gonna make America skinny again, one slap at a time.
So if you remember flipping the channels in the 2000s, this commercial was always there, right alongside ShamWow, like a 1-2 punch of infomercial comfort food. The pitch is perfect and kind of timeless. Make everyday tasks easier. No knife skills, no fuss, just press it down and you've just chopped onions, peppers, whatever you need. It's the promise, these promises that made these ads so watchable. Even though you weren't planning on buying anything, you're looking at this going, maybe. And compared to ShamWow, Slap Chop feels a little bit more playful. Like, there's still that signature Vince intensity, but it leans into a definite rhythm for this demo.
You buy the Slap Chop, we're gonna give you the grady for cheese. White cheese, yellow cheese, in the container. Comes with a twister. And watch this, tacos, fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini. The Slap Chop sells for $19.95, but if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because you know we can't do this all day, you're gonna get the grady absolutely free.
Slap Chop launched in 2008, and like ShamWow, the infomercial ran in heavy rotation for a couple years. It didn't quite reach ShamWow levels of sales, but it sold well enough, and more importantly, the infomercial itself is what was memorable, to me at least. I actually almost even like it better than ShamWow because of the rhythm that it does have. This isn't the last time that we see Vince in the infomercial space, but he never really comes back to that limelight like he did with ShamWow or Slap Chop. And that's okay, because we can go back and watch these infomercials. And speaking of, I'll be sharing all of the commercials along with some colorful commentary on Instagram at BusySignalCast. So hit that follow button because you know we can't do this all day. It's obvious this was a special time in infomercials, but this was also a big time for another form of 2000s entertainment, reality television. The Discovery Channel quickly picked up on this and decided, hey, what if we made a show about how this whole Pitchman circus works? The show, cleverly titled Pitchmen. This show gave us a backstage pass to the world of infomercials, led by two absolute pros. You guessed it, Billy Mays, the human exclamation point, and Anthony Sullivan, who somehow made selling plastic gadgets feel more like a calm conversation over tea. Billy and Anthony were the perfect combo because Billy had this loud enthusiasm and Sully had this very trustworthy, I know this works because I've tried it demeanor. And that's what made Pitchmen great. It wasn't just, look at this product. No, we already had the infomercials for that. This was behind the scenes. It showed the whole process. Inventors were coming in with these wild ideas and Mays and Sully basically decided, is this genius or destined for an as-seen-on-TV graveyard?
Hi, I'm Billy Mays.
And I'm Anthony Sullivan.
And we're here to tell you about our new show, Pitchmen. For years, we've taken your designs
and turned them into gold mines.
This is my one shot.
It works.
It's one of the best demonstrations I've ever seen in my life.
I can take my hand in there and I can go.
Oh. And with our new series,
you'll find out why there's more to selling than just the yelling.
To get this exclusive offer, watch Pitchmen, a new series premiering Wednesday, April 15th at 10. It's all new on Discovery.
Oh, and here's a bit of fun timing. Pitchmen actually debuted in 2009, the same year as Shark Tank, but technically Pitchmen were there first. Both shows deal with inventors and their products trying to break into the market, but in completely different ways. Shark Tank is walking into a boardroom where millionaires semi-politely destroy your dreams. Pitchmen is walking into a hotel conference room where Billy Mays slaps your product on a table and asks if it can survive a flamethrower. One show is suits, equity, and negotiations. The other is, can we drop a cinder block on it and sell 10,000 units by Tuesday? This was the brilliance of Pitchmen. You got to see the demos fail, scripts get rewritten, and the magic trick of turning something nobody asked for into something you suddenly need at 2:30 in the morning. And Billy Mays, man, what a force of nature this guy was. Watching the show, you realize he was all the energy, all the time. That was just him. But then the show unfortunately takes a turn. In 2009, during the airing of the first season, Billy suddenly passes away. Anthony Sullivan comes back for season 2, but this time it's less about the spectacle and more about the craft, as well as being a bit of a tribute to Billy. Sully even carried on with OxyClean commercials for years, so yeah, Pitchman ends up being this weirdly perfect time capsule. It's the last hurrah of that golden age where infomercials ruled late night TV. Pitchman was good. I think it's out there on YouTube. You could probably find it, but once you've seen how the sausage is made, you can't go back. You kind of miss how wild and off the cuff it really seemed. Oh, a side note. What was the deal with the volume of 2000's infomercials? Am I the only one? I mean, it felt louder than other commercials and TV programs, didn't it? Technically, it wasn't. There are broadcast rules about volume. So instead of cranking up raw decibels, infomercial producers amped up perceived loudness. No silences at all in the commercial. Max allowed volume, yelling, and chaotic music all made these prepaid advertisements seem louder than anything else. And that's exactly what they were designed to do. They wanted to grab your attention, wake you up from that nap on your couch. They weren't trying to blend in. They were trying to interrupt your brain. Hey, stop looking at that. Look at this. Guess what? Mission accomplished. Jump scares all over the place. Man, I'm telling you, 2000's infomercials used to scare the heck out of me when I wasn't paying attention. You know, there's something kind of comforting about all of this. The loud announcing, over-the-top promises, wild demonstrations. These infomercials were many things. Annoyances, brain rot, entertainment, and prehistoric viral videos even. What a time to be alive, really. I mean, hearing them is one thing. If you'd like to relive these commercials in full Technicolor glory, I've got you covered. Head over to Instagram and find the show at Busy Signalcast. Slap chop that follow button. I'll be posting all the commercials from this episode in full, except for the magic bullet. That's 30 minutes long. I can't do that. Maybe I'll do clips from that. I don't know. But follow. I'll be posting all those commercials as well as other nostalgic stuff I post all over during the week. Every week's got a different theme, so there's always something new or, something old that feels new again. And if you're enjoying the show, make sure you're subscribed on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you've got a minute, leave a 5-star rating or a quick positive review. It really helps more people find the show and gives others a chance to reconnect with this weird, wonderful nostalgia that we all have. You can also find the show over on YouTube. I don't really talk about that much, but yeah, it's over there. You can leave a comment in any one of these places, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Instagram, review it. There's probably a good chance that I'll read one of those comments or reviews on a future episode, just like I'm about to do for some folks who were super rad and left some great feedback on Instagram. First up is Gerospace, who's been a listener for a while now, so it's always good to hear from Gerospace. And this is a reference to last episode, by the way, number 66, PC Games with special guest, my buddy George. Gerospace says, best episode so far. I've played most of these. I love the comedy between you two. Super fun. Thanks, Gerospace. That's super kind of you. I'll have George back on the show probably early July, so stay tuned. Next is a piece of feedback also from Instagram that comes from The Electric Dad, who left a lengthy comment. Always appreciated. Love it. I love stories. I love reading them. But I'm going to read the tail end of this one because I believe this is the essence of The Electric Dad's message. I remember my friend bringing over his PC over to my house where we would connect it with my brother, dad, and my PC to play Delta Force and Counter-Strike. This episode was most excellent. Party on, The Electric Dad. Thanks for sharing that most triumphant memory. I love it. Oh, the days of lugging PC towers to LAN parties. Do you guys remember that? You have to. If you have fun memories unlocked by any Busy Signal episodes, leave a review, drop a comment. I love sharing your feedback and hearing stories from back in the day. But that's about it for this episode. I feel a part 2 for 2000's infomercials isn't unreasonable. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. I'll also let you know that right now on eBay, there are big city slider stations available. No more squishing, squashing, or flipping and flopping. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Once again, I'd like to say thanks for listening. And as always, you can listen to The Busy Signal everywhere quality podcasts are streamed. Hit the subscribe button to have a new episode delivered directly to your favorite device every other Friday. If you really like the show, leave a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple and Spotify. That lets everyone know to come check out what you already think is awesome. You can also head over to Instagram and follow @BusySignalCast for even more retro-nostalgic content. I share a good amount of stuff over there that isn't mentioned in the show. While you're there, say hi in the comments. Don't be shy. And until next time, remember, reach out and touch the past.
Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life.